Hey there, and good morning. Thank you for your participation here in the Two Buddy Discord server, man. We appreciate you, and I'm going to be completely honest. I looked at your video. I've been watching it for a bit here, and I have no clue why you're seeing. Like, no, it's not that I don't have a clue. I'm not going to say that. I have some ideas, but you're talking about how this one's not working quite as well as some of the other ones you've done. I was watching it. I don't see anything that stands out for this video to be some kind of like dud compared to the others. I mean, there's nothing. Your presentation is just fine. I don't think that I wouldn't think that pacing or the cadence or anything like that is an issue. I think um, the only thing I can really lean on when it comes to like what may be the culprit as to why this thing hasn't taken off yet, and I think it still has potential long term. But what I'm looking at here is this one, Metaphor Refantasio, versus one that you had recently that was a better performer, Xenogears. I am betting money that the reason for the discrepancy between these two, for one, is going to be time. This one's been out for 4 months. This one's 7 days. Give it a little time. It's just now hitting like the very early cycles of discovery. So you've still got one that's, from now until the 28-day mark. You've got the 28 to the 90-day mark. You've still got like the 6-month mark and the 1-year mark where YouTube is going to be trying out different audiences, and any one of those could be cause for a pop. The 120-day mark is one. So any one of those could be a pause for that thing to pop, and you just never know when that's going to happen. Now, that having been said, I do see a bit of a difference between this one and this one, only in that Xenogears topically, I think might just be more relevant than Metaphor Refantasio. I've heard of Xenogears. I haven't heard of this other one, and this isn't my thing at all. RPGs and anime is really not my strong suit. So if I've heard of something, I can tell you right now, like just having heard of Xenogears, that is going to tell me that this thing is topically, it speaks to a little bit more broad audience. And I think that's just what's happening with this. It's possible that the fact that it's an hour and 50 minutes versus 50 minutes, I don't think that's the case, because I think when you get into those long-term viewers like that, I don't think it makes a difference between 1 hour or 2 hours. If somebody's going to commit for an hour, they are likely to commit for 2 hours, versus somebody who watches a 6-minute video and, commits to a 6-minute video versus somebody who commits to a 60-minute video. That's a big discrepancy. But 1 hour to 2 hours, I don't see that being a discrepancy. So I think this is just an issue of topic. And this is, I love this topic of conversation because it is the, pretty much the most important thing. It is the number one thing that stands between a creator going viral and not going viral, is the topic. You can make that exact video that you made, and there are ways to craft it in such a way topically to make that thing just blow up, or not perform as well as the rest of the videos on your channel. You can play with the title, and you can play with the thumbnails, and you can try to get the absolute most out of that thing possible. And it's entirely possible that this is maybe a thumbnail issue. Maybe it's I don't think it's a title issue, because your titles are, it's pretty cut and dried. So if your CTR is, I'm not going to say far lower, because the CTR on that other video shouldn't be terribly high. Like it's probably good, but it shouldn't be terribly high, because the more impressions you get, it kind of tends to drive down your CTR. So the CTR, if the CTR is higher on the new video, then that's not necessarily reflexive of, an apples to apples conversation. I'm trying to think how to keep an eye on the CTR for the new video. That's what I'm saying on that, is that if it's, if it's 1%, if it's under 2%, you may want to, or you should probably consider doing some tests with different thumbnails and seeing if maybe you can't kick up a little bit higher CTR with that. But really, at the end of the day, the topic and the way that you approach it, the more like you can take any conversation, you can take any topic, and you can make it interesting for a much more broad viewing audience. A perfect example is the channel Veritasium. Let me show you what I mean by this. If you can apply this to your own channel, it'll make it will make a drastic difference in the amount of audience that you're able to pull. Now you've niched down, and I don't want to take you away from doing that, because that is a good thing. But if you can take your niche to a larger global audience, that is something special. So check out Veritasium here as an example on this. Let me show you his videos. So he does science and he does education stuff. But look at this. Now, for one, his thumbnails, he's really dialing some stuff in with this. He likes these really zoomed in images and stuff like that. He did a video about super glue. Got 8 million views. Super glue. Like that thing that you can get at the gas station. He made that interesting. And it's not that he didn't make the video that was like, you know, for example, on your channel, Metaphor Refantasio, Atlas's innovative JRPG. Very straight, very forward, exactly like I get exactly what my expectations are with that. The exposition is there. The thumbnail, everything meets my expectations with this. So if somebody's looking for exactly that, then I'm getting the information. I'm getting the storyline. I'm getting the lore. But imagine that we did that. Imagine if we did that exact same thing with super glue. Like that thumbnail would be a picture of a bottle of super glue, and the title would be Super Glue, How to Glue Things. Does that make sense? Like if you look at how Veritasium took his approach to the topic, why super glue is perfect for gluing skin. And it really is. I mean, they use super glue in hospitals. We've all heard that, but we've maybe never thought about why it's perfect. How does it work? It's really interesting stuff that he put together on this. And so you can take that thing that you do, and you can give the topic a fresh coat of paint. If you give it that different perspective, and I don't know how to explain doing that for your own specific thing. You kind of have to, you know, you're the creator, you're the creative, you're the artist behind what you do. So you're the one that kind of has to get creative, but look to see how other people, other channels, like the guys who really nail it, look to see how they go about giving that creative twist, that alternative point of view on the topic to give it a little bit more mass appeal. And you will get your video in front of larger audiences doing that. Now you're going to have to get your, you know, your click-through rate set. So it's not just about getting in front of them. It's also about getting them to click. But one of those important things that people, you start hearing people in YouTube circles right now, they're talking a lot about like topics. Mr. Beast, a couple years ago at VidCon, made a presentation about specifically about topics. Like it's all about topics. He said he said in his presentation that the difference between, what was it? He said it's easier to make a 5 million view video than it is to make 10, 50,000 view videos. And the difference between a 5 million view video and a 50,000 view video, it's not budget, it's topic. You can dump $10 million into a video, and if that video is super glue, the glue that glues stuff, it's just not going to work. It doesn't matter how much production value you put into that. But if you do, you know, why super glue is perfect for gluing skin, all of a sudden that exact same like idea, the concept behind that video becomes far more, it gains far more mass appeal. Well, anyway, you're doing a fantastic job. You're doing great. Quick couple of things. We're doing a video look at this right now, but I want to point out a couple of things because I want to leave this on like a really ultra positive note. So since 2019, so you've been at it for 6 years. Huge pat on the back for 6 years worth of work that you've been doing. I presume that you started and actually started posting videos 2019. But regardless, 66 videos. You have made 66 videos, 532 subscribers, and you have earned almost 52,000 views. We all do the YouTube thing where we want our views and we want our, our mass subscribers, and we want like whatever that thing is, that thing we're all chasing. But it's important to take a step to the side from time to time and take a look at the real accomplishments, the real success that you have had on your channel, and look at the math. 66 videos. For one, that is a solid amount of work. Huge pat on the back for the amount of work that you're putting into your channel. You are prolific. You are proficient. You have a solid beginning library on your channel. And that library has earned over 500 subscribers. That is a medium-sized music venue that you have just filled with your channel, with the work that you do. And, that is something to be, acknowledge that, like recognize that you have amassed the level of you have amassed the level of a medium-sized music venue on your YouTube channel with the videos that you create. Huge pat on the back for that. And then finally, 50,000 views, 5 digits, 50,000 times people have watched your videos. That people have seen you 50,000 times. That is a much larger accomplishment than what a lot of people think. That it's a much larger accomplishment than what you often get credit for. So anyway, I wanted to recognize that. I want to give you a huge pat on the back. You are doing fantastic work. Keep it up. Thank you so much for being in our Discord server. We appreciate having you, and I look forward to hearing more from you. I'm kind of curious to hear your thoughts on the post that I'm going to make here, because I could use some feedback of my own. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you later on, man. Have a good day.